What's going on, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Showtime 804 checking back in with you, back at it like we never left. Before we get started, thank you to all those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button. Tell your friends, tell a friend, and tell a friend, so we can build this thing on up. Now, it took me a while to get to this video. A lot of things that I wanted to, address with this week and even leading up to this week. Eagles fans, we got to remember one thing only. At the end of the day, we are all Eagles fans. Yeah, we might have our favorite players here and there, but at the end of the day, our opinions are what we think is what's best for the team in the long haul. We pretty much the only fan base who we attack each other based upon, the flavor of the month. And pretty much what the media tells us. You got some analysts and sportscasters saying they don't like Carson Wentz. So you keep hearing that over and over again. That tells you that you shouldn't like Carson Wentz. And then you have some who are enamored with Jalen Hurts. So what does that put in your head? That you should like Jalen Hurts. At the end of the day, all that matters is what's on the front. Forget about what's on the back. And like I said, we all have our favorite players. And we should only root, I'm not going to say we should, but I only root for them when they're on the Philadelphia Eagles. Once they leave, that's a thing of the past. Were there players who I was so sad to see them leave, like your Brian Dawkins, your McNabbs, your McCoys, D-Jacks the first go-around, Jeremy Maclin. I was sad to see Reggie White leave, Jeremiah Trotter. The list can go on and on. But it's all about the Eagles, man. And that's what we need to come together to realize. Those who are in favor of Carson Wentz, they're going to have their opinions. They're going to have their points that are valid points that are made in regards to him being a part of this franchise. Those that saw him struggle, they kind of jumped off the boat of him early. And, now Jalen Hurts. You can like, the flash that he brings to the team, what he brings to the offense. But he's with flaws as well. We're never going to have a quarterback who's going to throw 90%, complete 90% of his passes or even 100% of his passes. It's just not going to happen. So that does take its place inside football, because where you see your offense struggling, they pay those guys on defense too. So teams are trying just as hard to stop our offense as opposed as to our team, our offense trying to put points against somebody else's defense. Which brings me to the point, like I said, we just got to stop going back and forth amongst the fan base. Now, everybody's down on Carson Wentz, and, not to just compound on the feelings of what he's feeling. He's the coaching and the front office let him down. And it's only a matter of time that the same thing is going to happen to Jalen Hurts. It's just coaches, they are people of habit. That's how they get tendencies. With certain coach, you're going to get the West Coast offense. You're going to get a guy that's going to want expect the best out of a defense. He's going to have a strong run game. Those are characteristics what coaches bring. Now, what we know with Doug is going to get pass happy. So it was good to see him run the ball against the Saints. But let's not kid ourselves what kind of Saints team we ran into. Yes, they had the #1 defense. And they held a string of teams to, 17 points over the course of the last few weeks. But they weren't really world beaters, And don't kid yourself. That game plan that Doug put out on Sunday is completely different than the game plan that, Carson Wentz was accustomed to going in week out. He trusted his running game a whole lot more. To see Jalen Hurts, run the ball 18 times. Well, he didn't have exactly 18. A couple of them were kneel downs. But the effort, the contingent effort that Doug put into running the football, you see the results that it gets. And then, you see some of the players, they're jumping off of the Wentz wagon, if you say, and then, following the quarterback that they got in there, as they should, because you kind of want to ride with the guy who's under center for you. But we saw a lot of misdirection, end arounds, wide receiver screen, the screen game in a timely manner. Nothing was really down the field. Everything was closed in. It was pretty much that offense that you saw Carson work with through the last four games of last year. And like I said, it was good to see the team as a whole play a solid game outside of special teams. Jake Elliott, that's a whole nother conversation that we're going to get to. And, hearing a lot from the fan base as well, oh, it looks like the line was protecting them this game, but you're missing one key component. Jason Peters was not in that game. You didn't have Matt Pryor, trying to get by. This was probably the most talented offensive line that we had played on Sunday outside of your normal starters. That's just fact. You can opinionize it all you want to, but that group that we saw on that field on Sunday was completely different. And in Jalen Hurts' running ability also kind of negated the Saints' pass rush, because for 1 second you have to pause and think, because you know in your head that Doug Peterson is a pass-first coach. But with Jalen Hurts back there, yes, it causes that defense to pause and take 1 second, and that's when you saw those running lanes open for Hurts, open for open for Miles Sanders. So there's context that comes within it. Like I said, great team win, but you have to also look into the fact that we played the Saints without Drew Brees. Taysom Hill isn't your most ideal quarterback. He's not going to go and score 30 points. That would have been the true test. Would Jalen Hurts have been able to match the firepower that, say, a Drew Brees is going to put up? This week coming up against the Cardinals, this is another good test. That's a high, fast-paced offense, a high-scoring offense. They can put up points. Can he match those points is what you're going to have to worry about. Because when he was at Alabama, you saw flashes of Hurts being good with intermediate passes, not a lot of things down the field. You saw him run the ball well. But the key that helped him in those games was Alabama's strong defenses. And when he ran into a team with a higher-powered offense, that's where you saw the struggles. Now, I know that he's a young quarterback. I know this. I'm not fooled by it. But can he keep up with a higher-paced offense? Now, our defense took a big hit on Sunday. We lost both corners. We lost a starting safety. So that means Jalen Mills probably will come to corner. And against DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Fitzgerald, that is not a pretty task that you want to go into. So that front four is going to have to get home. Those linebackers are going to have to stay disciplined. Doug is going to have to open the playbook up a little more because we're going to have to put some points up on this board. Now, in the back of my mind, I wanted to lose the game just for the draft picks, because what a lot of people are failing to realize that we are not a quarterback away from, winning a Super Bowl or even contending for a Super Bowl. We got a lot of holes on this team. This team is severely flawed. We need secondary help. We need line help. Wide receivers, somebody to get separation downfield. So, we're voided of a lot of players. So, in the event that they are able to offload Wentz's contract for whatever reason, I hope they don't. By all means, I hope they don't, because I still believe in Wentz. I just think that he needs a better fit around him, because I don't want to see him go to the Colts. And like I brought this question up to somebody, what happens if Wentz goes to the Colts? Everybody's saying that this is the perfect fit for him. We're addressing this trade in our mind that, Wentz going to the Colts is like the perfect thing for him. He can get back with Frank Reich. Now, what happens if the Colts go to the Super Bowl? Because they have the defense in place, they have the offensive line in place, a running game that's coming forward. They're missing a quarterback. Now, if Wentz takes the Colts deep into the playoffs, a Super Bowl appearance, what have you, what's that going to say about our team? Because we still have the same guys in place with Howie and Doug. Those guys need to be gone, because with Jim Schwartz's scheme, Like I said, we just need a whole overhaul on the coaching side because with Jim Schwartz's scheme, offensive coordinators said this is the easiest scheme to figure out because we don't do anything to disguise our coverage. We know teams know that we're sending 4 players every time. Those front 4 guys, all they have to do is identify them. They know they're coming. We don't run any twists, any stunts along that defensive line. It is so plain that teams know how to counteract our aggressiveness. We've seen it all year. Quick slants, the screens, quarterback keeper. Those are things that need to change. Just having a new life on things. Everyone's saying we need a new GM and get Howie back to doing the contracts. Howie isn't doing a good job with those contracts. Hence the reason we are $70 million in the hole going into next year. So, like I said, there's a lot of changes that need to be made. Just not the quarterback. Because now you're looking at those guys. Everyone hated that Jalen Hurts pick in April. You don't get to switch like that. That's not how this works. You ride with the team. If you thought the team made a bad decision drafting that player, you don't look at Howie as being the evil genius. Because what he's going to do is to throw somebody else under the bus. It's only a matter of time. But we get Arizona coming up, going to Arizona. This is going to be a test. And by all means, I'm not wanting to fail, but I really think we need the better of the draft pick because everyone is sold on Jamar Chase. Now, we keep winning. We're going to get bounced out of the playoffs early. It's just a matter of fact. We don't have any that don't look any more into it. We are not going deep on this playoff run. I don't care how hot we get. If we win the next 3 games, we are going home early. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So take the draft pick. You don't want to settle. If you feel that Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the draft, make sure that you're in line to get him. Don't settle for the Devontae Smiths. Even though I think he is a hell of a player, I'm starting to, look into it more. But that's the problem that we ran into in previous years where we settled for the draft picks. We knew such and such was going to be a better player. We knew that, Jared Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb was going to be the slam dunk pick. But we kind of settled for Rager. And we don't need to run into those instances again. We keep settling for certain players. You go back to 2013. Eric Fisher was supposed to have been the best draft pick. What's the other guy? Luke Jokel. We thought these guys were going to be the better of the picks, and we kind of settled for Lane Johnson. Now, that particular pick fell in our favor, but how much of it did it fall in our favor? Because Lane Johnson is constantly hurt again. And like I said, it's not fair that, Wentz has to wear that injury-prone label, but other players on this team get to dance around it, and it doesn't stick to them. But that's just my take on it. We're one team, guys. Again, we're one team. It's not Wentz versus Hurts. Wentz didn't touch the field on Sunday. But all you see on Facebook, on Twitter is, well, would we have lost that game if Wentz played? Wentz didn't play. You take the ifs out of it. If for fifth, we all be drunk. Take the ifs out of it. If we don't go, because Doug is still going to be Doug, because Doug almost cost us that game again. Looking at Doug's scheme, you don't run your quarterback on a 4th and 1 when you're up by 10. So as long as Doug is still making those decisions, I don't care how good Jalen Hurts is. Doug and his situational football can't be trusted moving forward. Doug is showing you all you need to know why he should not be here moving forward, or at least calling the plays, because the proof is out there. You just have to open your eyes and see it. You're seeing former players. Brian Westbrook spoke about it. They know the difference in the game plans that they're seeing. You don't just watch the tape on TV because that media is telling you what to think. Look at the All-22 film if you have a chance. Look at the game from different angles and you can see for yourself. But that's all I got to say on that. Until next time, fly Eagles fly. Let's get out of here. Bird Gang Mafia, we up.